this is David for Big Bits, and in this video we're going to take a look at the plot function on TradingView, specifically take a look at the show last property as well as the offset, which is kind of out of view here. Let me take myself off the video and we'll go ahead and get started here. Okay, there we are. Now, you can see we've added an offset here, and I'll explain exactly what this does. But when you're looking at the chart here, you can tell we're using a moving average. This is a new indicator I've created. It's already published out on TradingView. You can go check that out in the library. You should be able to go to the public library and search for fancy moving average. There you go. It's one of the few ones out there. It might not be registering in the public library just yet because I did just post it a few moments ago. But by the time this video is out, it should be available to everyone there. As you can see, it is a published script here, and you will have access to that as soon as it's available in the library. They probably just need to index it at TradingView. But you can see this is a moving average, and if you followed along with the video series before, you'll notice some other features such as the forecasting here at the end of it, but you'll notice something kind of new. There's one line, but it's got two different colors. But instead of just changing colors when the price changes direction on the moving average, say when it goes down you would have a red line, and when it goes up you would have a green line, which a lot of people do. I wanted to do something a little bit different here, and I wanted to highlight just the candles that are being shown, or well, of course they're just being shown, but I wanted to highlight just the candles that are being used in the calculation for the moving average. So for example, we have a 50 period simple moving average right now. And if I change this to 75, you'll notice it should go back to somewhere around in here, I believe, maybe further. Yeah. So now the green portion of the line goes back further because those are 75 candles back, and that just shows the latest candles that are included in that calculation. So that moving average calculation starts with the candle back here all the way to the current candle, which could be pretty helpful, and it kind of helps you understand the forecasting as well. So you can see when this candle leaves, that's why the forecast is going up. It was a red candle. If the price stays the same, it gets replaced with a higher price here, so it'll go up. That's why the forecasting is in there, just kind of give you an idea on this end, but you can also get a better idea on the back end, so you can even think out further ahead than the 5 that are given to you in the actual indicator. Now, if you've been following along, you probably want to know how that's done. If you don't really care about how it's done, just go ahead and check out the TradingView profile, BigBits.io. Like I said, it's already out there. Now, we've copied over all of our other functions for the resolution, the moving average, and also for the forecast and the bias. Now, one thing you'll notice that we do different is we calculate one moving average, but we have plotted up to 2 different moving averages. Now, the way this works is we calculate our standard moving average, which in this case is 75 period. I want to move that back to 50. Okay, I think it's a little bit easier to see when that line isn't being covered up with candles. But we have a 50 period moving average, and the show last feature, and let's take a look at the documentation here. The show last feature allows you to only plot or show the last however many bars or sections on the x-axis that you would like to go back. I don't know why I said bars, but yes, it is points on the x-axis backwards that it would show when you choose show last. You can see here the definition. If set defines the number of bars, so I guess bars was the right choice of words there, from the last bar back to the past to plot on the chart. Okay, so you get the idea here. Hopefully that can move out of the way. All right, so we're plotting 50 back. You can see if we have chosen in our settings to highlight the inclusion, and I'm just kind of calling this the inclusion period because these candles are included in the calculation. we have the highlight inclusion selected. If it is selected, then it's only going to show the last 50 candles, which is our MA period. Now, if we uncheck this, it's going to set show last equal to 0. And what that does is basically means it's not a valid number and you should show the entire history. Now, also when it comes to that, we also have the other line, the shaded line. I'm calling that the ghost trail. And this should only show up when we are showing or highlighting this inclusion period. That's because if we had it show up as well here, then it would shade the green and it would still look like there was a trail on there. And you don't need a trail when you're not even showing the inclusion. So what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to add a couple of settings. So we're going to have to add a button to show the inclusion ghost trail. And for that, a toggle, I should say, or a checkbox. And when you uncheck that, you can only see what's included in the candle calculation. Why you would want to do that, not entirely sure, but we gave that to you as a setting, and you can see, if you wanted to, you can see the ghost trail, which is the entire price history of the moving average that's available. So how do we do this one particular line? So you can tell that we are only showing this green line for the last 50 candles. So how do we show a line on the chart that goes back and actually stops right here? Because you can tell it doesn't overlap with this green line, because if it did, it would be shaded a different color. It wouldn't be the lime green color that we set it to. So we have to make sure that we only plot this line when we are showing or highlighting this inclusion. So only when we are showing the candles included with the green line, and when we have the show ghost trail selected, which is basically just show this line. And to do that, we are going to plot on the chart the moving average we've calculated, but we're going to go back and we're going to look back 50. In this particular case, the period is 50, so we want the moving average 50 periods ago minus 1, so it'd be 49. And that's because it's a zero-based index. It starts at 0. If we want to actually go 50 back, we need to go 49 back in the array. That might not make sense if you're not a somewhat experienced programmer, but it's a pretty basic topic in programming. Basically, you start counting at 0, so we need to go 49 back to get to the actual 50th moving average. And if none of those are set, it's just not going to show the line. We've already discussed that, and I've shown you that just a moment ago. To get it to look like this, I just set it to black and set the transparency to 10. Now, we're also working with a new property here. I'm not sure we've used this in our videos yet. For the offset, let's go back to the plot documentation. Offset, it's pretty easy to figure out. It shifts the plot to the left or to the right on the given number of bars. The default value is 0. So our green line here has a 0 offset because it's not been set. And you can see it's plotted on the most current line. It's not offset to the left or to the right. You see, this one is offset to the left. Now, if we didn't have the offset, then this particular line, the gray line, would also end at the current candle, because we would just be plotting the moving average of 50 candles back. If we also don't offset it backwards, then it won't show up correctly in the correct location. So to do that, we go back our 49 and we multiply that by -1 so that it offsets to the left. If you have a positive value there, it's going to offset to the right. So we have to offset it back 49 to get it to do the correct line. And I would have done 50 here because it's not necessarily in an array and it's not 0 index based. But what happened if you didn't do that is that these lines would not connect, because it would plot up to here and there would be a gap, and it would be here. So I left it at 49 on this one, even though it's not 0 indexed, just because I wanted them to line up and touch each other, and that's all there really is to that. So that's pretty much all there is to this particular video. I wanted to highlight this feature that I've come up with to only show the candles that are included, or basically highlight those that are included in the calculation for the moving average, and then also show you the past history of it, and then kind of explain how we did that with the show last and the offset feature. So if you like this indicator and you want to add it, I've already mentioned you check out my profile. There's other indicators and things on there as well, so make sure to check those out. If you like the video, please like, and if you like these types of videos, please subscribe. It helps me a lot, but you'll also get to see all the other videos we're doing. Especially if you like this video, go back and check out the other videos in the series so far, where you can kind of follow along, and all of this other stuff that I didn't talk about would be on there as well. And it looks like we just got a Brave advertisement while we're doing this. That's okay. I support Brave. So yeah, that pretty much covers everything. So just like and subscribe, and that's about it. Thanks. Have a nice day.